suffering, pain, failure after failure, doubt, darkness, and eventually, a burst of light. But to reach that light, you have to walk straight through all of that chaos. You won't always feel like showing up, and that is exactly why you must. Discipline has nothing to do with motivation. It's the art of mastery. If you only move when your emotions give you permission, you'll never move far. Stop treating your feelings like commands. They're just signals. Feel them, recognize them, but still get up and do the work. Motivation comes from within. It's when your why merges with your what. Because the reason behind your pursuit matters far more than the pursuit itself. And if what you chase fuels you, strengthens you, and fills your spirit, burnout becomes much harder to fall into. Yes, you're going to run into roadblocks, stumbles, peaks, and valleys. But through everything, keep remembering why you began in the first place.
If you wake up unhappy every day, listen, nothing is wrong with you. It's not a curse and it's not automatically depression. It's your life calling out to you, screaming that you're living below your ability. Winning comes down to one simple truth. Winners decide. They make up their minds and say, I'll do this no matter how long, no matter how painful, no matter what stands in the way. They start climbing before the rest. They keep climbing after others quit. That's the entire secret. There's no hidden formula, no mystical knowledge. The magic people talk about is simply the refusal to stop when things get hard. It's tough to work day after day, to grind despite not seeing results yet, and to get up and do it again tomorrow. But that's how mental endurance is born. Stop obsessing over the destination and learn to appreciate the process. This isn't a fantasy world, this is reality. And in the real world, everything worth having requires real work. Understand that nothing of value drops into your lap. Death is unavoidable. Nobody escapes. But death highlights life. Without darkness, you wouldn't understand light. The people I've lost are the ones who taught me the value of every breath, every moment to learn, to move, to live. The world is brutal, yet we're raising people to be soft in a world that grows harder. You must build a version of yourself that can handle whatever storms life brings. Something resilient, something sharp, because trauma, loss, and devastation will come. You cannot crumble every time. You need a part of you that can break life down, solve it, heal from it quickly, and continue forward. That requires toughness. The fear of mistakes, the fear of not being enough, you're going to screw up. If you want to do anything meaningful, you're going to fall flat, you'll be criticized, you'll feel embarrassed. That's the cost of entry for transformation. If you truly want to grow, you need to live intentionally. Most people don't lead their life, they just accept it. But accepting your life is settling for things unworthy of your effort. No one climbs uphill by accident. There is no book about accidental greatness. Be deliberate. Live with purpose, passion, and gratitude. Wake up thankful for another opportunity to live, not only for yourself, but for the ones who can't anymore, for those taken too soon. For them you live. You honor them by living fully. Most of us put a limiter on our own minds, the same way a governor restricts a car's top speed. I grew up believing my potential was limited, so I limited myself. Remove that governor and you'll see how far you can really go. Enthusiasm alone isn't enough. You have to train, study, practice, work, research. Many people have the mindset of yes, I can, but the skill set of no, I can't. Competence builds confidence, and confidence fuels more competence. The better you get, the more confident you feel. The more confident you feel, the better you want to become. You realize you have no ceiling. You can always go further. The moment you think you've arrived, you stop growing. And that's why so many settle, because they think they're done. But as long as you're breathing, there is more to achieve. Everything worthwhile begins with a challenge. Nothing meaningful arrives easy or falls into your lap. And many of you are standing in the doorway of your moment, your chance, your opportunity to finally start living with intention. The credit never belongs to the critic. It goes to the one in the arena, covered in blood, dust, sweat, failing again and again because failure is inseparable from effort, but still striving, still pushing, knowing both devotion and exhaustion, giving everything to a worthy cause. And even if he fails daring greatly, unlike the timid souls who taste neither victory nor defeat. You won't always want to do the uncomfortable things. You can't quit just because you're tired. This isn't a hobby, this is a way of life. Weakness is strong, so you must be stronger. Crush it with willpower. Push, pull, fight through gravity, through fatigue, through the part of you that begs to quit. Do not quit. Rise up. Turn your dreams into reality. Make your life a masterpiece. Make the decision, the one you came here to make. The clock is ticking. A thought becomes real only when you take action. Most people never go inside themselves. Flip yourself inside out. Study your inner book, the book you write every day but never read. Look inward. Ask yourself what you actually want, what you truly love. Speak from passion, from experience, from suffering, because suffering is the gateway. Growth demands it. You cannot evolve without pain. Commitment means staying loyal to your word long after the emotion behind that promise fades. When adversity shows up, and it will, it reveals who you really are. It exposes your true identity, but you only discover that identity through struggle. Most people avoid pain, avoid difficulty, and by living that way, they bury their greatness. Something inside them dies because they never activate it. Comfort is a silent killer. Sometimes you lose sight of your long-term goal. It slips from your mind, but that's unacceptable. Your vision must be so deeply embedded that you never lose it. Every small task should move you toward the long war, the ultimate victory. When fatigue hits, when life collapses, your habits, rituals, and standards carry you. Without strong habits, you crumble. You can't experience the life you want without activating your gifts. Everything you need is already inside you, but you choose average. There's no coach, no trainer, it's just you. Don't talk, be uncommon among the uncommon. Don't stop because you're tired, stop when you're finished. Stay hard. When you finally learn who you are, you realize you've always had authority over your life and its outcomes. And when results shift and fail to match your expectations, the true measurement is your character, whether you still value what you once valued. Character is built daily through opposition and uncertainty. Take a step every day, no matter how small, to keep your vision alive, because your goals won't achieve themselves. It's on you. Desire is a contract with yourself to remain unhappy until you get what you want. So when you're unhappy, ask yourself which desire isn't being met. It's fine to have desires, but choose them wisely. Don't gather 1,000 meaningless wants. Choose the one that matters. All your possibilities begin with turning thoughts into action. Everything humans enjoy began as an idea in someone's mind. Your laziness doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone who depends on who you could become. If you won't do it for yourself, do it for them. Every champion has been broken, beaten, discouraged, confused. Winners just don't stop. There are no lost causes unless you give up on yourself. You choose whether your life becomes rich or empty. Reinvention happens in tiny daily actions, the slow curve that suddenly accelerates upward. People quit too soon. They leave right before the miracle happens. What if you were only 6 months away from the life you want? The success, the health, the income, the identity you dream of becoming. Success guaranteed, but only if you show up every day. How would you behave? You already know what your perfect 6 months looks like. You already know who you want to be, so become that person. Stop waiting for permission. Life continues whether you act or not. Your past doesn't disqualify you. Circumstances don't control your ability to choose your next step. Only you decide whether you move or stay stuck. That truth never changes. You can't control everything, but you control your response. Manage your emotions, and you take control of your destiny. Own your actions. Apologize when necessary. Be aware of how you treat people during stress or anger. Everything you say and do is a choice. Don't blame others. Practice patience. When it's time to grow, shut your feelings off and do the work anyway. People change when the pain becomes unbearable, when they see enough to be inspired, when they learn enough to want to change, or when they receive enough to be able to change. Comfort destroys courage. Tell yourself the truth. Stop lying to avoid the work. You know when you're making excuses. You may fool others, but you can't fool yourself. Deep down, the shame stays. You know you're choosing not to be the version of yourself you claim you want to be. Fear keeps you from it. Fear of outcomes, fear of discomfort. But life isn't about chasing happiness. It's about chasing experiences. Happiness is just one piece. Life is many things, many seasons, many colors. Your life is shaped by the story you tell yourself about your experiences. Your interpretation defines your reality. That's why belief in yourself matters. Having proof that you can handle life's punches. No one is coming to rescue you from yourself. If you can't push yourself out of bed, if you can't hold yourself to a standard higher than your excuses, you will always crumble to the easy option. Learn to do the difficult things. Learn to do what you hate. That's the secret. When you master that, you become unstoppable because you stop getting in your own way. You get exactly what you settle for. You control what you allow. No one has power over your life unless you hand it to them. Dreams aren't made for smooth seas. Storms are part of the deal. That's why you build systems and routines, not just for good moments, but for the moments when everything falls apart. If your life isn't where you want it to be, change must come from you. Not your family, not your coworkers, you. Confidence is born from action, from trying. And when you realize trying won't kill you, only teach you, fear shrinks. Thinking too much magnifies problems. Overthinking makes everything worse. You blame everyone else, but that brings you nothing. Action first, analysis later. All you can do is give your best. Fail, try again. Win, try again and improve. Consistency makes you a champion in the eyes of those who love you. To find yourself, you must be alone with your mind. Observe your thoughts. Question yourself. Explore your imagination. It leads you to purpose and adventure. Life demands your full participation until the end. Since you're all in anyway, why not play the greatest game possible? Why not aim for the highest version of yourself? You are far more powerful than you know, more than you can imagine. And though you may be blind to your own weaknesses, that potential is still there waiting.
You are also blind to your own strengths. How far could you take that if you stopped wasting time, if you stopped lying, and if you oriented yourself toward the highest possible good that you could imagine and committed fully to it? How much good could you do? Well, I would say, why not find out? It's all in your mind. Whatever you hold in your mind will tend to manifest in your life. If you continue to believe as you always have, you will continue to act as you always have, and you will continue to get what you have always gotten. If you want different results in life or in your work, all you have to do is change your mind. Wisdom comes from experience, and experience takes time. The more experience you have and the more you learn from that experience, the wiser you become. A pine tree grows and matures quickly. An oak tree grows and matures very slowly. Which one lasts longer? Which one is stronger? Which one shelters more critters and birds? Which one, when cut down, provides more valuable lumber? We all search for this golden purpose. Is it this? Is it that? Is it making money? Is it family? The purpose is you. Every day I wake up and don't want to do some blank blank. I think, okay man, do you want to be a today? Do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't? You have to learn how to act even when you've got nothing. No 5K, no 10K, no recognition, nothing. Life feels like a dungeon sometimes. But guess what? I'm still going to get it. First, don't aim for happiness, because that alone won't carry you, especially when storms rage and barbarians beat at the gate. There will be moments when your suffering is so intense you can't believe it. You'll need something more robust than happiness to get through that. What's more robust than happiness, or even pain? How about adventure? How about sailing uncharted seas? But life, predominantly, is our own fault. When you get knocked down and broken open, that's when you discover your true self. Suffering is awesome. You get split in half, but you can walk back into the world if you choose. You have a choice: contract, become bitter and never open up again, like most people, or use tragedy and suffering to purify yourself. Tragedy and pain are life's greatest purifiers. Holding the line, maintaining standards, giving no slack, none, that's discipline. God, perhaps, is that which calls you to make sacrifices and holds you accountable when you don't. Try to escape that and see what happens. We know perfectly well it's a pathway to hell. You may say, I don't believe in hell. I would respond, that means you don't know enough. You abide by this or not, but if you're wise and care for those around you, you must do the work. You can talk all day, but the easiest thing is to complain, blame, quit, and settle. Deconstructing and reconstructing a mindset, trying to change, takes real work. That's why I ask, what's more important, what we acquire or who we become? Material possessions are nice, but the person you become, the thoughts you think, the words you speak, that travels with you forever. Let the process unfold. The process is there to strengthen and build you. It teaches lessons no skipping steps, faking it, or overnight success could teach. The journey isn't always beautiful, but it's always purposeful. So recognize this is part of the process. We are divine, magnificent expressions of life. Each face we see is a unique expression of God. We're not meant to be alike. Since time began, no two snowflakes have been identical, and certainly no two humans are alike. Yet we constantly try to be acceptable by mimicking others. Our uniqueness is our wonder. What you most want to be found will be found where you least want to look. If you stand up, face the darkness fully, you'll discover that the darkest part holds the brightest light. It's worth discovering because darkness can make you cynical and bitter. Yet if you confront it, you'll find more strength than the horror itself. Your future is unknown, but if you choose the harder, more complicated path, with more failures than successes, it leads to greater meaning, victory, and glory. Whatever career path you choose, struggles shape you for your purpose. Real loss only occurs when you love something more than yourself. We reach maximum potential in service to others. That potential, lived fully, gives deep human satisfaction. Life's meaning is partly biological, but we also make our own meaning. Music, relationships, love, and contributions give life purpose. You must work on yourself. Adopt an unstoppable attitude. No excuse is acceptable. Make it a non-negotiable to hold a clear vision of what you want, see it achieved, and go all out. Find a way to win despite setbacks, disappointments, and failures. I tell people you will fail on the road to success. Life knocks you down, land on your back, look up, and rise. What led me to success? I switched my identity, my sense of pride and self-esteem, to something anti-fragile. If someone calls me stupid, I respond, awesome. In what way? Criticism teaches me. Belief matters. You can learn anything you set your mind to. Most people shut down at criticism, protecting themselves from truth. But the world already knows your weaknesses. Becoming anti-fragile is crucial to supercharge your life. Always return to a student mindset, to emptiness. Thinking you're full is when you're weakest. Life is a testing ground. Suffering calluses the mind. The soul can expand beyond a single life, transforming unnecessary pain into positive outcomes through courage and truth. Neglecting this responsibility allows corruption by suffering and malevolence. You either orient yourself upward toward growth or counter-purpose and make things worse. Lives are shaped by personal narratives. Zig says, most people in fear forget and run. A few find the straight and narrow road, face everything, and rise. Those willing to risk going too far discover their limits. You must risk, stop playing safe, and see what you're truly capable of and how many lives you can impact. True character isn't found in ease. Trust funds and inherited wealth don't build resilience. Pursue the happiness of the journey, not a destination. Time passes and obstacles remain unless you actively confront and discard what holds you back. Never say, I can't. Say, I haven't yet. Practice reveals what you're capable of. Kill your current self for your new self to grow. Constantly evaluate, does this make me stronger?
Does this behavior help me reach my goal? Surround yourself with future you, relentless, focused, always improving. Dream big. Sacrifice for dreams beyond normal comprehension. Focus on self-growth, not past mistakes. Your life transforms when you accept some people won't return. Stop breathing life into dead chapters and make space for those deserving your time now. Life is like driving. Sometimes rough roads lead to needed destinations. Each bump teaches lessons. Trust the process. The void you feel exists because you can't let go of the dream of perfection. Accept the seasons. Pleasure passes, pride and virtue endure. Both fear and faith require belief in the unseen. Fear keeps you small, anticipating pain. Faith grows you, anticipating joy. Choose which guides your action. Change won't happen to you. You must proactively shape your future, taking full accountability. If lost, congratulations, you're about to be found. Losing can lead to better gains. Impossible goals demand pursuit. Passion, excitement, and purpose matter. We are all led here for a reason. T.S. Eliot. Those willing to risk going too far can discover how far they can go. Risk failure, mockery, insecurity to reach the top. Success demands effort. Critics are right in months, not decades. To achieve anything, discipline and hard work are essential. Great skills require years of learning until they become second nature.